Denver's not New York, but Denver actually rates socialism higher than we rate capitalism by 4 points. And, when I talk to voters about what we're doing and why.
Did you hear that? A major U.S. city is now officially preferring socialism over capitalism, and the establishment is terrified. Let's dig into who is behind this silent takeover.
I'm a democratic socialist. I remind them that we have socialism already, right? It's in the roads that we drive on. It's in the schools we send our kids to. It's in the fire stations we call upon. I'm just asking that we extend that security to our healthcare, to our housing, to our nutritional food, to our higher education, so that we're actually meeting the basic needs of everyday working families in this country, so that we're not just getting by and surviving, so that we're actually thriving and in the wealthiest, most powerful country on.
Wait, did you catch that? She's openly admitting that the strategy is to rebrand basic infrastructure like roads and fire stations as socialism to sell a much more radical economic agenda to everyday voters. This isn't just about healthcare anymore. Look at how she seamlessly pivots from standard public services to demanding complete government control over housing and the food supply. It's a classic bait and switch. The craziest part is how well it's working in places like Denver. You can see the anchor just nodding along, barely pushing back. This represents a massive shift in how political campaigns operate today. They aren't hiding from the socialist label. They are wearing it like a badge of honor to mobilize a frustrated base. But if you look closely at the underlying policies, it's a complete dismantling of the free market. Are people really understanding what they're voting for, or are they just clapping for free stuff? It makes you wonder how long until this hits your city.
All right, now we're going to do rapid fire.
Okay.
Do you support Medicare for all?
Yes.
Do you support universal child care?
Yes. And elder care.
And elder care?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not in favor of giving boomers anything, but that's fine. That's the difference between you and I guess.
Look at the guy in the background. He's just rapid firing these massive multi-trillion-dollar policy shifts like they're items on a fast food drive-through menu. Universal childcare? Yes. Medicare for all? Yes. It's basically treated as a mandatory purity test for the modern far left. But notice what's completely missing here? Not a single question about how to actually pay for any of it. The interviewer is just checking boxes. And did you hear that casual swipe at boomers? That is a highly calculated generational wedge they are driving to galvanize younger voters who feel totally priced out of the current economy. They are weaponizing economic anxiety and offering this utopian checklist as the magic cure-all. It's fascinating because this clip perfectly captures the modern echo chamber dynamic. There's absolutely zero debate, just blind agreement to completely upend the American economic system. It really shows how mainstream these once fringe ideas have become online.
This is coming, and it's coming fast, unfortunately. Malat here, what surprises me about her being a Democrat socialist is that she's from Ethiopia. Her family came here when she was a baby. They used the American dream via a visa to get everything they ever could want. I mean, her dad came here with hardly nothing. The family worked hard. They used the community and the different tools here that we offer in this great country. He became a pharmacist. His daughter became a lawyer. She was a lawyer, and now she actually got fired for being.
Now, this is where the irony reaches absolutely critical levels. Check out the background story they are exposing here on this broadcast. You have a candidate campaigning on tearing down the American capitalist system, but her entire family's success story is built strictly on that exact same framework. Her parents utilized the free market, built incredibly lucrative careers, her dad as a pharmacist, and she became a lawyer. It's the literal definition of the American dream. Yet she's turning around and condemning the very structure that gave her that generational wealth and extreme privilege. It's the classic champagne socialist playbook in action. They reap all the massive financial benefits of capitalism, secure their own wealth, and then push for a system that has historically crippled economic growth. Pay attention to how her campaign spins this. They gloss over her elite background to paint her as a grassroots revolutionary. It's brilliant marketing, but when you peel back the layers, the hypocrisy is staggering.
I don't think that the congressional Democrats should seat her as a member of the Democratic Party. She actually describes herself as a democratic socialist. I don't have anything in common with someone that says that they're against interracial dating, or doesn't want to have any incarceration for convicted felons. That's just not who I think the Democratic Party is, and they ought to let her be a Democratic Socialist, but I don't think.
All right, pause right here. When you have James Carville, one of the most legendary, hardcore establishment political strategists in modern history, visibly panicking on national television, you know a massive earthquake is happening behind the scenes. Look at his expression. He looks genuinely defeated. He's flat out admitting that the traditional power brokers have entirely lost control of their base. He's saying he has absolutely nothing in common with these new radical candidates who want to abolish prisons and push extreme social agendas. This is a massive civil war happening in real time. The old guard is being systematically hunted and primaried out of their seats by this hyper-organized socialist faction. What Carville is too terrified to admit is that his own ruthless tactics from the 90s paved the way for this exact moment. They opened the door to extreme rhetoric, and now the monster they helped feed has outgrown its cage. The panic is palpable.
For the Democratic Socialists, look at this. The chance that Mila Kuros is the Dem nominee for Colorado won. Again, at the beginning of the month, it was 41%. Now it is a 78% chance that another Democratic Socialist knocks off an incumbent. Another Democratic Socialist wins a House primary on the Democratic side. The Democratic Socialist number is rising on the Democratic side.
Let's look at the actual data, because numbers don't lie. Look at this massive flip on the screen. The establishment incumbent was sitting comfortably at an 82% chance to win, and within weeks it completely collapsed. The socialist challenger skyrocketed from nowhere to 78%. That is not just a standard polling error. That is a highly coordinated grassroots hostile takeover. The corporate media is desperately trying to frame this as just a localized anomaly. But look at the national trend lines. This is happening district by district, state by state. The traditional mega-donor war chests of establishment politicians are being completely neutralized by highly mobilized, digital-first socialist campaigns. It proves that all the institutional backing in the world cannot save you if the base has completely mutated into something else. The anchor's shock is genuine because all their predictive models are breaking down in real time right in front of them.
We're going for that Senate majority. In early 2020, look at this. Chuck Schumer was 40 points above water, very much on the positive side of the ledger with Democrats. Look at this. Look at this change. This is nuts. Johnny B off on the side going, my goodness gracious. Now he's a point underwater with Democrats. Chuck Schumer isn't unpopular overall. He is that. He's not just that. He's actually not popular with Democrats. Alyssa Slotkin, who's a moderate Democrat, her comments not coming out of.
And here is the absolute, undeniable proof that this isn't just a fringe movement anymore. Look at these approval ratings for one of the most powerful politicians in the entire country. A massive 40-point positive swing has completely evaporated into the negative. That red -1 is a death sentence in political terms, especially when it's coming directly from his own voters. The anchor is desperately trying to contextualize it, but the reality is glaring. The socialist wing has successfully poisoned the brand of the establishment. They've done it by convincing the base that anyone not demanding a total systemic overhaul is essentially a sellout. This isn't just a slight dip in popularity. This is a total rejection of the old guard's authority. The sheer speed of this collapse is what's truly terrifying for the political elite. It shows how fast the narrative can shift when social media echo chambers are weaponized. The political landscape is shifting faster than ever. Drop a comment below. Who do you think is pulling the strings here? Stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next one.